A girl left her relative's house and headed home just a few minutes away. However, she never made it, and the police began searching for her. The events that unfolded in the following days quickly made this story one of the most talked about in the country. The details are so shocking that they are hard to believe, and with each new fact, the case becomes even more alarming. Lily Peters was born on November 4th, 2011, in the small American town of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. Her parents divorced when she was young, and Lily lived with her father. Despite the separation, her mother often saw her and tried to take an active role in her life. Lily was a typical cheerful child. She loved playing outdoors, hanging out with friends, and riding her bike. The town she lived in was small and relatively safe, so her father sometimes allowed her to ride around the neighboring streets. Usually, Lily would visit her aunt, who lived just a few hundred meters from her home. On April 24th, 2022, when Lily was 10 years old, she decided to ride her bike to her aunt's house. She asked her father's permission and set off around 3 p.m. Hours later, her father began to worry because Lily should have returned home by then. He called his sister, Lily's aunt, who said that Lily had left her house on her bike about an hour ago. Realizing something might be wrong, he called the parents of Lily's friends, hoping she had stopped by their houses, but no one had seen her. He then contacted relatives and friends, and they all started searching for her. They looked along the route from her aunt's house and began canvassing the entire neighborhood. By 9 p.m., as darkness fell and the search yielded no results, Lily's father decided to call the police. The police immediately joined the search and enlisted more volunteers from the community. Lily's father insisted on activating the Amber Alert system, which is often used when a minor goes missing to quickly disseminate information about the disappearance. However, the police stated that Lily's disappearance did not meet the criteria for activation, which require evidence that the child is in danger. Frustrated, Lily's father couldn't change their minds. The search continued, and the police soon found Lily's bike in the bushes of a small park next to a pedestrian trail. This discovery left little doubt that something terrible had happened to Lily. The police began to wonder how the bike had ended up there. The main route between Lily's house and her aunt's followed the sidewalk along the road, which she always took. There was also a longer pedestrian trail through the park where her bike was found. Lily's father couldn't understand why she would have chosen that route, but it was clear that something bad had happened to her on that path through the dense trees. After finding the bike, the police ramped up their efforts, bringing in search dogs, drones, and more officers. They canvassed the area, knocking on every door in hopes of finding any useful information. Despite their efforts, Lily was not found. The search continued through the night until the police made a grim discovery the next morning. At around 9 a.m., they found her body in the same park, hidden among the trees and covered with leaves. It was so well concealed that it was difficult to spot even up close, especially at night. The police immediately realized they were dealing with a murder, but needed to wait for expert confirmation. In the meantime, they focused on finding the perpetrator and ensuring the safety of other town residents. They set up patrols and sent officers to Lily's elementary school. The school administration sent messages to all parents, urging them to escort their children door to door and not leave them alone for even a moment. News of the murder spread quickly among the town's residents. Such crimes were rare in the area, and people were panicked. They understood that a dangerous individual was among them, and the police had no leads. Throughout the day, the police department received numerous tips. Residents reported any suspicious observations. Investigators were busy checking the backgrounds of all local residents with criminal records for violent offenses. Tensions in the town continued to rise, fueled by uncertainty and fear for their children's safety. The police remained tight-lipped about the investigation's progress, leading to a flurry of rumors circulating through the town. Some speculated that Lily had drowned in the river, while others claimed to know the identity of her killer. These numerous theories only heightened the town's anxiety, and people demanded a swift resolution from the investigators. On April 26th, the police obtained a search warrant for Lily's aunt's house and cordoned off the building. This move surprised the locals, but the authorities still refrained from commenting on their actions. Throughout the day, the residents of the town anxiously awaited news. Finally, the police made a significant announcement. Lily's murder suspect had been arrested. However, there was an unexpected twist. The authorities refused to disclose the suspect's name due to juvenile confidentiality laws, since the suspect was underage. Despite efforts to keep the identity hidden, the suspect's name soon spread throughout the close-knit community. It was revealed that the suspect was Lily's 14-year-old cousin, Carson Peters Berger, the son of her aunt. This revelation stunned everyone following the case, but an even greater shock awaited them. The police disclosed that a tip from Reddit had led them to Carson. Users on the platform had been discussing Lily's murder and sharing their theories. One user claimed to have seen a girl fitting Lily's description with a slightly older boy in the park. After hearing about the murder, they suspected the boy might be the killer. Another Reddit user, upon seeing this post, decided to call the police and share the information. Soon after, detectives received another tip. Carson's grandmother shared a deeply concerning story. She recounted that Carson had told his younger sister that he had harmed Lily, with a smirk on his face, as if boasting about it. When investigators spoke with Carson, he unexpectedly confessed. He admitted that he had gone out with Lily that evening, inviting her to the park to explore the local flora. Once they were surrounded by trees and out of sight, Carson attacked Lily. Afterward, he ran home, took a shower, and washed his clothes. A few hours later, while the adults were searching for Lily, Carson returned to her body and attempted to conceal it. He added another chilling detail, revealing that he had planned the attack even before they left the house. Carson's confession left no doubts for the investigators, as he described details that had not been disclosed to anyone, not even to Lily's father. The medical examiner's report soon confirmed Carson's account. Lily had indeed suffered multiple injuries, and the evidence further proved his guilt. Carson was charged with a serious offense, and despite his age, it was decided he would be tried as an adult due to the crime's extreme brutality, premeditation, and the victim's age. Following his arrest, Carson appeared before a judge who set his bail at $1 million, an amount his family couldn't afford, so he remained in custody. Carson's grandmother attempted to have his case transferred to juvenile court, writing a letter to the judge asserting that he was a good and kind boy who had made a mistake. However, her efforts were unsuccessful. For Lily's family, the ordeal was a living nightmare. Not only had their daughter been harmed, but the perpetrator was their teenage relative. He had recounted the details to the police with a smile. Furthermore, on the day Lily's body was discovered, her family held a memorial ceremony. Carson attended, hugged his grieving relatives, and tried to comfort them. Discussing the background of Carson's family, a significant detail emerged following his arrest. Carson lived with his mother and her partner, while his biological father, Adam Berger, resided in another town. Carson had a close relationship with his father until 2016, when Adam was arrested. In 2018, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison, and upon his release, he moved to a town neighboring Carson's. Relatives noted that Adam's arrest profoundly changed Carson. Once a cheerful child, Carson became withdrawn and angry, blaming his mother for the situation because she had separated from Adam. While incarcerated, Adam sought permission to meet with Carson without his mother's supervision, as mandated by law. However, his requests were denied. Carson's mother opposed any contact between them, which deepened Carson's resentment towards her. Despite this, Adam could exchange emails with Carson from prison, allowing them to communicate almost daily. During visits to his grandmother's house, Carson was permitted to call his father, and these moments seemed to brighten his spirits. Carson's mother had her legal troubles, including charges for drug possession and assaulting a former husband. After parting ways with Adam, she began dating a convicted fraudster, John Repetto. John lived with Carson and his mother for many years, effectively becoming Carson's stepfather. When the media spotlighted their story, John's social media presence drew attention. He regularly posted unsettling content featuring serial killers and memes with erotic undertones involving children. He even once wrote, "I feel like attacking someone." His criminal past further tarnished his reputation. Despite this, John played a significant role in Carson's upbringing alongside his legally troubled mother. Months after Carson's arrest, a new event stirred public outrage and jeopardized the case. During the preparations for the trial, Carson's lawyer revealed that a YouTube video containing confidential case information had surfaced. The video featured police recordings, 911 calls, documents, and footage captured by officers. The lawyer claimed that the unauthorized release of these materials could compromise the trial's integrity. The video's rapid accumulation of nearly 1 million views exacerbated the situation. Surprisingly, even the lawyer lacked access to some of the video content and couldn't identify the uploader. Legally, this scenario threatened to disrupt the trial, potentially leading to the dismissal of certain charges. The judge took an interest in the video, only to discover upon review that it was a standard true crime video with information solely from public sources. Consequently, the lawyer's claims were retracted, as they proved baseless. Nonetheless, the incident cast a spotlight on the lawyer, raising uncomfortable questions. It emerged that Carson's family had hired an expensive attorney, despite their apparent insufficient income. This discrepancy prompted speculation about the source of their funds, a mystery yet to be solved. In late summer 2023, another hearing took place to decide whether Carson should be tried as an adult. The hearing spanned 3 days, leaving the judge several months to reach a verdict. Carson appeared via video from prison, but journalists were prohibited from filming or photographing his face due to his age. If the judge decides to try Carson as a juvenile, he might evade severe punishment. Juvenile courts rarely impose prison sentences, opting instead for treatment or rehabilitation programs, typically lasting a few years before release. However, if Carson is tried as an adult, he could face a life sentence, which is what Lily's parents are advocating. Given the facts, it's evident that Carson poses a significant threat to society. Referring his case to juvenile court would be highly risky. Carson meticulously planned and executed the murder and assault of his cousin, later boasting about it. The evidence leaves no doubt about his guilt, making his release back into society a dangerous decision.